Hello friends, this is Dr. John WorldPeace JD coming to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. John WorldPeace, the only global advocate for peace and world peace. Friends, it's time for this Russian war against the people of Ukraine to come to an end. The war goes on. The killing and destruction of Ukraine by the Russians, led by Putin, goes on even when he now knows he cannot win because he has set the face of the world human society against him by his murderous acts. Ukraine is being armed by the world to slow down the murder and mayhem foisted on the Ukrainians by Putin. Sanctions have been put in place, led by President Biden. President Biden, as the leader of the free world, is determined to stop sending Americans into country after country to fight unwinnable wars that have taken place since the end of World War II. And he's determined not to start World War III. This is presently the only known sane course of action for America and the rest of the world human society. However, the arms to Ukraine and the sanctions against Russia have not worked. Ukrainians are still dying. Their buildings and infrastructures are still being leveled. The freedom fighters of the Ukraine and volunteers who have traveled there have stalled the Russian army boots on the ground, but they have not stopped the bombs and the missiles. There is no end to this war under the present mindsets, under the present plans of action. There is another way that will work. Jesus said, "Ask and receive, seek and find, knock and enter. For whoever asks receives, whoever seeks will find, whoever knocks it will be opened." If you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you can say to the mountain, "Move from here to there," and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. If you believe in me, you will do the works I do, and greater works will you do. Jesus is not a liar. But the people who say they believe in Jesus do not sufficiently believe the above teachings of Jesus, which are absolutely true. What these teachings mean is that we as individuals and as members of the world human society script our future. What we as individuals in our lives and the nations of the world and the world human society project as the future is what the future will be. The future will be what we project it to be. That's what Jesus is saying. If we project an endless war, we will create a future of endless war. If we project the end of war, war will cease to exist in the world human society. So allow me to give you a script for the future. Putin is a rabid, murderous dog, and he must be put down like any other rabid, murderous dog. But not with a bullet, or a knife, or poison. He needs to be put down by the world human society, scripting a future where he's deprived of his life force. If he is deprived of his life force, he will simply lay down and die. If this is not true, then Jesus is a liar. And Jesus is not a liar. We execute rabid dogs. We execute human beings who are murderers in each of our nations. Murder is not tolerated in the world human society. So I've declared what the world human society knows to be true, that Putin is a rabid, murderous dog, and he has no intention of stopping his evil acts against Ukrainians. And God only knows what other nations if he takes over Ukraine. Therefore, we must create a critical mass of the world human society projecting, praying for, meditating upon Putin being deprived of his life force. No one needs to do more. This will be sufficient. What will be the critical mass necessary? I don't know. There's never before been a global focus on anything. There are 8 billion humans in the world human society. It may take a critical mass of 50 million, maybe 1 or 2 billion. It may take as few as 50 or just 5. We will see. Putin is every bit as evil as Hitler. No one is going to deny that. When Hitler killed himself, the war in Europe ended. When Putin dies, war will not just end in Ukraine, but world war will end in the world human society from sea to shining sea forever, because we will have the will of the people to project world peace. The world human society will embark on a path to a more sane and just world human society with no more Hitlers and no more Putins. As I've written it, so let it be. Also, let the world continue its present endeavors toward ending Putin and his war. But let the focus be on a spiritual ending of Putin growing to a critical mass. For those who are being murdered by Putin, those who are hiding alone in groups anywhere, in addition, you must write a script where the bombs and the missiles aimed at you will disarm, will no longer work, will fall into open ground, will not reach their target, and will kill no one as they are redirected and disabled. This is a script you must also write to save your life. As to the Russian soldiers in Ukraine, the script is this: you will put down your weapons, gather up your food and water, and begin to walk back to Russia. You will wear white on your person. You will take no weapons of war with you. No one will harm you. You will have a safe passage. But if you try to take any instrument used to kill human beings with you, you will be attacked and killed. Armed soldiers will not have a safe passage back home. There will never be peace for Ukraine if one single soldier wearing white and walking home is mercilessly killed while making his way back to the border. If the Russians ask for a ride home, by all means, Ukrainians should help them go home. As I have written it, so let it be done. It does not matter what you think about me. I have no organization. I am one man with one message, world peace. I answer to no one but God for what I choose to do. But what I know is this: the present progression of the war in Ukraine from all perspectives has never worked well. It is time to move out of the 20th century and its ceaseless and endless wars. It's time for the world human society to transition to a future of peace and justice. Certainly there is much evidence that there are many human beings ready to embrace a new reality for the future and for all the children of the third millennium. Forward this to everybody you know now. The sooner you get on board this peace train, the sooner the wars will stop. You cannot say my plan will not work if you and your apathy do nothing. What I have written is the teachings of Jesus, the promise of Jesus, and I can assure you Jesus is not a liar. This is Dr. John WorldPeace JD. Let there be peace on earth. Let's end this war. Let's create a more sane and just world human society. Have a good day.